That old movie poster you had on your wall as a teenager, or the one you found rolled up in your grandparents' attic? You might think it's just a cool but worthless decoration. But what if I told you that an original theatrical poster from a classic movie could be worth more than a luxury car, some selling for over $1 million? Today on Treasure Hunters, we're pulling back the curtain on the spectacular, high-stakes world of vintage movie poster collecting. Welcome back to Treasure Hunters. Before trailers on YouTube, the movie poster was the single most important piece of advertising to get audiences into theaters. They were meant to be used and thrown away, which is exactly why the ones that survived have become incredibly rare and valuable artifacts of cinematic history. So authentic fold lines are expected. However, collectors look for posters with minimal tears, pinholes, stains, or fading. Posters for hugely popular films might have had large print runs. But posters for films that were early horror or sci-fi classics might be much rarer today. A poster in pristine condition is exponentially more valuable. So what makes a piece of paper worth a fortune? First and most importantly is the movie itself. Is the poster for a cultural landmark? A game-changing film like Star Wars, a timeless classic like Casablanca, or a cult horror film like The Mummy. But there are many other sizes, and sometimes rarer formats are more valuable. Also, some films had different art styles, known as Style A or Style B, with one often being much rarer than the other. The movie's legacy is the #1 driver of value. Second is the poster's size and style. The standard American poster is the one sheet, measuring about 27 by 41 inches. Third is condition. This is critical. Most original posters made before the 1980s were folded by the studio before being sent to theaters. Fourth is rarity. How many were printed and how many survived? Now, let's look at some of the Holy Grail posters that every collector dreams of finding. The International poster for Metropolis. This is the undisputed king. It's considered a masterpiece of Art Deco design. It is the most valuable movie poster in the world, valued at over $1 million. The poster for The Mummy. This stunning poster for the classic Universal horror film starring Boris Karloff is incredibly rare. And tell us in the comments, what's the greatest movie poster of all time? The poster for Casablanca, for one of the greatest films ever made. The original theatrical poster is an iconic piece of art. It's a 6-figure collectible. The original Star Wars posters. While many posters were made, specific rare versions, like the Style C poster or a pre-release concert-style poster, are grails for modern collectors and can be worth thousands. But you don't need $1 million poster. There are many other valuable finds. Look for posters from classic horror and sci-fi films of the 1950s, like The Day the Earth Stood Still or Forbidden Planet, or posters from the iconic James Bond films of the 1960s, especially for Dr. No and Goldfinger. Even smaller formats like lobby cards or insert posters can be valuable and more affordable ways to collect. So, how can you tell if you have an original theatrical poster and not a cheap reproduction? First, check the size. Reproductions are often printed in standard modern poster sizes. An original one sheet should be almost exactly 27 by 40 or 41 inches. Next, examine the folds. If it's from before the 80s, it should most likely be folded. Unfold it and look at the creases. They should show gentle wear, not be razor sharp like a modern fold. Then, look for printer's marks. Check the bottom border. You might find a National Screen Service number or a small union logo. This is a strong sign of authenticity. Finally, consult the experts. The best way to be certain is to contact a reputable dealer or an auction house that specializes in movie posters, like Heritage Auctions. So, the next time you're at an estate sale, a flea market, or going through old family belongings, take a second look at any rolled up or folded posters. You could be looking at a beautiful piece of cinematic history and a treasure that's worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this trip to the movies, hit that like button, subscribe to Treasure Hunters,